Hello everyone, with the Cave of Abyss, everybody wants to get those treasure chests as high as they can so they can score those big rewards. And it's been a minute since I've actually gone in and leveled up my Sanders to see how well he's going to do up against VOIDER ZAK. If you don't know already, Sanders is the way to go on this thing. With the penetration, the numbers, the removing of the bleed, he's pretty solid against VOIDER ZAK and actually pretty good against Infernus Adun too. But everybody has their own thoughts on what works best for them, and they think everybody else should do it, but I at least wanted to go through, show you how I'm doing it, and what works for me, and maybe give you some ideas on how to switch things around so you'll score a little better. Now, the main reason why everybody is using Sanders is he's going to be removing a debuff from every adjacent ally, which means you pretty much want to have Sanders surrounded by every other hero that's out on the board. Now, every time he removes a debuff from an ally, he's going to be getting an additional 20 energy, which means he's going to be popping that active and be hitting even harder. And of course, if you are using Sanders, make sure you're throwing a penetration rune on there too. It definitely helps out. Now, I tried just about every good combination I could think of with my heroes that you see here, and a lot of people might not go the fact of going Abala inside the game, but fortunately for me, Abala is scoring me the biggest points. Now, the downfall of using Abala is now VOIDER ZAK isn't going to be hitting every single one of my heroes, meaning that I'm not going to be removing those debuffs, getting the energy, and making those big hits. On top of using Sanders, I also went in with Milia. She seems to be hitting pretty hard too, pretty much comparable to how Sanders is doing until at least he goes into that transparent mode, but still, she's holding up her own on it too. And at times, I did try going in with my 10-star Dex, my 10-star Fleta, and going in pretty much with 3 DPS agility-style heroes, but it didn't seem to do as well as going in with my Kion in place of one of those, and then, of course, Lulu to get that attack buff increase. Now, both Dexter in place of Kion and Dexter in place of Milia got the numbers pretty close. I think it might have been like 22 million or 23 million, but it wasn't really until I had Kion, Milia, Sanders, Lulu, and Abala that I was hitting for that 27 million. I did also try switching Abala out, throwing Kion in the front, but it just seems like it wasn't enough to keep the rounds around. With taking those bleeds, I was dying not having a healer on the team. So then I tried putting Almond out there and still didn't really have too much success with that. I really need to provoke, given my current team inside here, to really make sure I can withstand it. Now, I did mention throwing a penetration rune onto Sanders, but I have seen people go Onslaught and then build up a whole bunch of penetration subcategories, so that's another option, just like you can go a penetration rune and build those attack subcategories. We all know how much fun it is spending 150 of those rune shards to re-roll and finally get that legendary, to not get the one and then spend another 2,000 to just get something else you don't want. So use what you think is best. For me, 3 agility isn't working, but going in with 2 agility, going in with 1 intelligence, and then 2 strength classes seems to be putting out those big numbers for me. I would say though, if you are going in with Milia and Sanders, make sure everybody else is at least touching Milia. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get everyone, but try to get as many as around as you can to get those crit bonuses. Oh, and before I forget, I did try Rochelle too, but he's still only at 2 stars. This game hates giving Rochelles on my free-to-play account. But curious to know what you guys are using up against VOIDER ZAK there. Let me know in the comments below. If you guys are considering getting New Well from this event, you might want to take a look at this video right here. Thanks for watching, and remember, I pick my butt.